Composition of the audit committee: chairman, vice chairman, secretary, assistant secretary, and then the PRO. Let us note that the composition of the membership is determined by the type of audit the hospital wishes to adopt. Like I earlier said, let the hospital start with the 5 membership type of committee. That is the peer review type of auditing. While subsequently you can now enlarge the committee to be the 15-man member committee, where you will need to invite people from the medical record and of course laboratory, so that in the medical record, why they need to be there is because since in the retrospective audit type of auditing, you are going to be dealing with files. So if you are going to be dealing with large volume of file, you need more people. So that is why that one will be 15. But this 5-member committee are the type that will move around the world and see what is going on right there and then try to submit report about their findings, depending on when they have choose to carry out the audit. Then, in conclusion, it is indeed very important that we stress the important role of the ward in charges to the success of this audit exercise. Now, let me make one thing clear. The audit exercise will not be successful if the ward in charges do not support it. So, using this opportunity, we need to call on the ward in charges to support this idea, because if they are not supporting it, it is going to be very difficult for the audit committee to function properly. Now, preparatory ground for the conduct of the exercise is his or her responsibility. That is the ward in charge. They need to really understand the concept and be committed to the conduct of the exercise, because it will make his or her job and that of the entire staff under her to be a lot easier. And the credit will go to her and the entire team. Now, if through auditing and we discover that there is so much complaint about your ward, of course the credit goes to the ward in charge and the entire staff of the ward. And if there are so many if so many infringements were found in your wards, it does not mean that you are all bad. The audit committee will just call your attention to the errors being committed and then try to make you sit up and make sure that you correct such errors. So this is all about then planning the lecture series. Now that is talking about the process of planning this lecture series that we are embark upon these days. As part of the preparatory for this lecture series, we sent out questionnaires to some ward in charges and some HOD nursing of hospitals to find out the level of understanding of roles and responsibility of the charge nurses, that is the ward in charges, and the selection process of who are being given responsibility of heading the wards. Now, our findings made it highly necessary for us to advocate or advise as follows. Because before this thing was developed, a questionnaire was sent to some hospital about how, now one, the responsibility of selecting or posting ward in charges is the responsibility of HOD nursing of the hospital. Attempt to take over such responsibility under any guise should not be allowed. That is, in selecting who becomes a ward in charge, we are made to understand through this our questionnaires that those that are being given ward in charges in some hospital is determined by either the CMD or the PMO. We should not allow that. It is the sole responsibility of the HOD nursing of each hospital that will select who becomes ward in charge. Now, the HOD nursing during the process of selecting ward in charge should, as a matter of necessity, set out or adopt some criteria that will help in selecting the very best among the senior nurses. based on professional competence, sense of responsibility, discipline, and additional qualification. This is very important because if as a HOD, you just select, let me put it this way, maybe you just select your girlfriend, you become a ward in charge, you find it difficult to correct her. Or you just choose your trust person, maybe somebody you are from ethnic group, based on ethnic sentiment. You just selected somebody who is not capable of holding a word. Whatever wrong that person is doing, the credit will also go to you. The blame will go back to you. You are not helping the situation. You are not helping yourself. The person that you have given such a responsibility, know the profession. If you just base on sentiment, so let the HODs never base their selection of ward in charges on sentiment. It should be a capacity based. Select the person that will represent, because they are representing you in the ward. And if you select somebody that is not capable enough to hold a ward, whatever misdeeds that is being carried out due to her deficiency will fall back to and everybody will suffer, and the profession will also share in her anomaly. Now that is the advice that we wish to give, and we hope this lecture has been able to prove that the nursing audit is a necessity now, with the kind of situation that we find ourselves, where a lot of negligence on the part of our younger generation are, portraying the profession in very bad light. We should not just sit down and just be complaining. We should be up and doing, find what we can do to checkmate this attitude, checkmate this negligence in duty that is happening, that every one of us know. Some of the stakeholders have become victims of the negligence being practiced by some of our colleagues in the wards. If you have, it could be your uncle could be admitted, your wife could be admitted, even you yourself could be admitted. And we've seen situations where, despite the fact that you are a professional, the way you are being handled is not proper. Because why? The younger generation do not have the kind of passion that the older generation have for the profession. So you find it difficult for them to, carry out what is expected of them. So, and we cannot fold our arms and just leave them like that. Because whatever they do, the repercussion rubs off on the profession. So we should not, just fold our arms and then just allow the Gen Z, they call the Gen Z generation, to destroy this beautiful profession of ours that I am very proud of to be one among the professionals. Thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful presentation. Indeed, it is very educative and very encouraging. And of course, if the whole hospital can adopt this particular process, all the complaint that usually comes from the citizens of our dear nation will be tackled. I think more than 70% of the problems that complaint that used to come as a result of caregiving in some government facilities will be tackled. So we have some questions that we need to clarify based on our own findings. Like some of them are practical, like how often should nursing audit be conducted in the healthcare facility?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Like I said, immediately the committee has been constituted by the management. Now, the chairman of the committee will call up a meeting, discuss with members of that committee, and looking at the situation of the facility that they are in, they could be able to determine how many times they are supposed to be carrying out this audit. Because in some hospital, they may decide to be doing it maybe even on monthly basis. In some, quarterly. In some, maybe twice a year. But in this type of 5-man committee, I think it should be advisable if it is done monthly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, sir, do you have any tools or checklists that are commonly used for nursing audits?
Yes, I think I even mentioned
Okay,
it. I mentioned it in the lecture.
All right,
the
sir.
checklist. And you can the committee can equally add some, not only the one that we've mentioned in the presentation.
Okay.
You can add. The committee is free to add in their checklist. I mentioned the fact that the committee can provide a form.
Yes, sir.
When that form for members of the committee, this and this are what you are going to look for when you enter the ward. And then there's another one that can be sent to the wards. These items are what we want you to fill this form for us, so that we'll now use it to conduct the auditing exercise.
Okay. So, sir, what are the common challenges faced during nursing audits? Challenges.
The biggest challenge that is faced during nursing audits is non-cooperation of ward in charges. If you look at my conclusion, I practically am appealing to the ward in charges to cooperate in this exercise, because if they don't cooperate, it's going to be very, very difficult for the audit committee to function. So the biggest challenge in the audit committee is the ward in charges, the support that is needed from them. That is why it will be proper. Any hospital that wants to adopt or institutionalize this nursing audit, first of all, need to orientate the ward managers about the process of the audit before they start. And mind you, the nursing audit will find it difficult to properly function if a hospital has not adopted nursing care process. So, audit committee, now, if a hospital that has not adopted nursing care plan or nursing process, if the audit committee, starts their activity, I think one of the major gain from their action is to make sure that nursing care plan, no matter how manageable,
Yes.
they should inculcate it among every ward that they reach, because it will help.
Okay. Okay, sir. Like now, most of the hospitals, when nursing audit or nursing ward round is introduced, some managers, most of the managers are medical doctors. They would think it's as a result of jealousy because of ward round that they are doing. Nursing are developing their own separate ward round. So, sir, like now, how can the nursing department overcome those kind of resistance that used to come from the head of the hospitals and the rest in that aspect?
Let me make one thing very categorical clear.
Yes, sir.
About this issue of, we are bringing another issue, the issue of nurses ward round.
Yes, sir.
It is something that concerns the nurses. Nurses ward round will, if the medical doctor understands, will make even the work of the medical doctor easier. Now, let us have it at the back of our mind is that we are all focusing on the best care possible for the patient.
Yes.
So, it is not something that you need to seek the permission of the medical doctor to. It is your responsibility, for God's sake.
Yes, sir.
It is your responsibility if you come to the ward, during our time, if you come to the ward, you don't sit down as a ward in charge until you first of all read the ward report. After reading the ward report, you move around the ward. That is the ward round that is the ward round. You move around the ward, interact with the patient, find out what is happening with them. So that by the time the doctor is coming out for his own ward round, you and your nurses are already aware of what is happening to the patient. Because in the general ward round of the medical doctor, the patient, because of multitude of the crowd that will be coming for the ward round, may find it difficult to even express what is happening to them. But you, as ward in charge, you've carried out your nursing round and you've interacted in a very conducive atmosphere with the patient. The patient that one is not is no longer very apprehensive of you. You've developed that good rapport with that patient. The patient will open up to you some information that during ward round will not be provided because of anxiety.
Yes.
So it is a kind of help to the medical ward round. Unfortunately, because our members are no longer doing it, they just come, you have a situation, mostly these days, you just see ward in charge just come, sit down, and you don't even know. If you ask what's happened, they don't know. I mean, it's shameful, and it's baffling. You just sit down, and these are the kind of things that we want to wake up. We want the ward in charge to be up and doing them. If the audit committee comes and then just meet the ward in charge sitting down, by the time the ward in charge is asked, patient on social bed, what have you done to that patient? And if she can't give answer, at least she'll feel embarrassed. In future, she'll correct herself.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Then how about what actions should be taken when audit standards are not met? Like the audit, they have their own standard, and then they find out that in those places, their standard is not met.
Now,
Yes, sir.
talking about standards, it depends on what the committee recommends.
Yes.
But mostly, in the nursing profession does not, joke about negligence of duty. If a case of negligence of duty has been established against a ward, of course, the managers, the committee should recommend the appropriate punishment that can be meted out. No, we need to. We have reached a situation where we apply the stick and carrot kind of way of dealing with it. Because if we don't do that, we'll have no profession to call our own again. Already people are trying to encroach into our own profession because we ourselves, we handed over our duty to those that are not supposed to be handed it over to. And we are busy doing the duty of those that we are not paid to do. And we are not even being recognized for doing it when neglecting our own. So the audit committee, nursing audit committee will now draw your attention back to focus on your own profession.
Profession, yes, sir.
That is exactly what the nursing audit is all about. Yes, it's a call to order. Come back to the main nursing profession.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. May God bless you. May you also get the dividend of your service to humanity.